Okay, now Ms. Roy. So thank you so much for your attendance today. So thank you for your knowledge you delivered to us. My name is Hien Nguyen. Today I will make presentations about the market orientation, and I will focus on to the path to the sustainable competitive advantage. So quick overview of the agenda. I would deep dive in these points. The first one is to come with their definitions and some impacts of the market orientation. And then I would deep dive onto the competitive advantage and sustainable competitive advantage. That's the things I would deep dive. And then I explore the relationship between the market orientations and their sustainable competitive advantage. Final with their case study in Nestle. That's quite famous globally. And last but not least, the key takeaways for summarizes. Yes, now we start. So look on to the market orientation. Some theories about that. The definition, the impact. Cohen and Jaworski in the 1990s defined that the market orientations is a company-wide approach, including the generation, the distribution, and the consumer-focused action. So is it for what? Is it to lead to the better performance and the long-lasting competitive advantage? So how the impact of market orientations for the company and others. Neighbors and Slater in the 1990s defined that the firms with the strong market orientation would achieve a higher innovation, consumer satisfaction, and a long-term competition differentiations. That's a quite theoretical. And for the components of the market orientations, I will focus on three components and ignoring other components. The first one would be with client's focus. The second one would be the competitor awareness. And the final would be the integrations between the departments. It means the functional integrations. So deep dive on the consumers, the concentration, what the company will do, that they would do the good, they would need to have the good understanding and respond to the consumer. For what? To meet, to catering to the consumer needs. And then for the competitor awareness. So you will need to understand who is your competitors in the current market and the potential competitors in the current market. So for what? To deep dive to your marketing, to your strategy in the current company to adjust. And final, with the integrations, it means that you need to have a good coordinations between the among the departments in the company. So for what? For they need to know who is their role in the adjustment, who is their role in the strategy, to educate, to perform the approach, to perform their roadmap, of the company. And about I would say something about the competitive advantage first. You know that Porter in the 1985 defined about the competitive advantage, that a firm who would achieve the competitive advantage, who will offer their unique attribute or the capabilities that allow them to be outperforms their competitors in the market and as well as their superior market performance through what the results. What did they do? Like the company, they can be focused on the cost. The cost means that cost leadership, or they do something differentiations, or they would have market during the time. So to be long term, I would mention some more about the sustainability in the competitive market advantage. So what is a sustainable competitive advantage? It's that it indicates the quality of long-term nature. This means that it's persistent, that enables a company to get the better performance over their competitors in the long terms. It's quite, it's like when you listen, it's quite theory, but it shows unlike the current, the temporary advantage, it isn't easy to be replaced, to be removed in the market. Sustainable competitive advantage would focus on the long-term things. That's something you can hear is the VRIO framework you did state in the strategy, so I would not mention more about this. It's a valuable, so rare, something is rare, something is valuable, something is your competitor is hard to imitate, or something is non-replacement. So I would point out three important things here. Durable. You create something durable in the market. You create something difficult to replace. You create something difficult to imitate. So it's the win in the market. So now, I point out these right now here, sustainable advantage. We focus on something persistent. Something that you create something difficult to replace, and no other equivalent alternative can provide a similar or the same things. So how we can build a sustainable competitive advantage? How? So I take note very brief. The first thing is innovation. I focus on the innovation in the, that is a fast-moving world. We would need to do something new, something innovative than others in the market. Is the first and the quite important things. The second thing would focus on the brand loyalty. It means that you create something, you create a strong equity, or you focus on your consumer needs in the market, and you create something like you need a brand, it's called brand loyalty, for the consumer to connection, to have the connections. And last but not least, for my points, because a lot of other points, but I just mentioned 3 points. So last but not least is the internal coordination in your firm, in your company, in your organizations. Is the excellent operations and also the efficient operations. It will show through the like other different departments in your company will connect, will deep dive in their projects. That is internal issues. So I just mentioned about the market orientation, and also mentioned about the competitive advantage and sustainable competitive advantage. So now, what is the relationships? Yeah, you know that market orientation, it means something you deep dive in the market. So you will see what the market would need, would do, what would observe. So it would place as a strategic compatibility for it's like a roadmap for the sustainable competitive advantage. So from the I draw the diagram here. From the market orientation, it's means that you look something in the market, you do research in the market, and you know what they need, and you get the insight, right? The deep insight over the products, over the consumers, and then you have the innovation and the adaptations. So when you get the good innovation, you get the good adaptation, you get some things like more competitive than others. It means that you get the competitive advantage, and you would like research for the something sustainable than others. And get the loyal and business growth for your organizations. For some case study, I would deep dive on Nestle because Nestle is one of the organizations I work for as well, and also they target to something long term, to something sustainability. I can have a good recommendation like that. So what did they do for this theories I did learn? That is the first thing. The first thing they do is they would focus on their clients, what their consumers would look for them. Is a personalized nutrition strategy. They look for, they deep dive, they have a deep research over the need, the demands of the market, the consumer at that time. And they do the good consumer orientations. And then the next thing, they have leaders, they are the leaders in the plant-based movement. And final, they have a quite good coordinations among the technical, among the supply chain management, among the R&D departments. That's the good thing they do. And so what the result they get? That's it. The first thing, they get the 20% growth in the Nestle Health Science in the 2023. And at that time, they get a higher consumer retention. This means that they get more consumer. They get more the attractions from the consumers at that time and currently as well. And they are the first and also the early movers for the plant-based and the health functional food. It's quite important for a presentation to get some important or some key takeaways for you to remember in your mind that, what is my presentation? So, market orientation, the way, the roadmap to their